Shabbat Shalom to one and all. We are thrilled to have you here and thrilled to have a full sanctuary this Shabbat and a very, very full stream on Zoom there. Unfortunately, as it looks, maybe they can't hear anything that we're saying. So we still won't say anything not nice about them, but what we are going to do is we are going to take, they're going to disappear eventually when they figure out they still can't hear. But we are going to take the recording of this service and we are going to send it out. I know they're making all kinds of hand signals. Yeah, and we are going to send it out on the live stream after services. So you are doubly lucky if you decided to brave the elements and come here tonight. So Shabbat Shalom, we have shifted those who were in dinner here into the sanctuary. If you are seated in front of, in back of, or even across the aisle from anyone that you have not greeted yet, especially if you don't know them, because we have many, many guests here this Shabbat, wish one another Shabbat Shalom, take a moment to connect, and then we're going to start praying together. And we're going to start on page 130 in the blue bracketed page numbers. If you got the thin version of our Siddur, page 130, come, let's sing joyously. And we're going to do a lot of singing, and a lot of it very joyous this Shabbat. Chuner Anana, let's joyously sing together. Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana, Lechuner Anana. Shabbat was actually originally listed as a choir Shabbat, and when we brought in the idea of holding Rabbi Weiss's installation this Shabbat, we knew that one of the things that was certainly going to be the case was we were going to do a lot of music. And I knew that was going to be the case even before Rabbi Weiss told me all of the people who were going to come to celebrate her installation. And so we are very, very fortunate to have three amazing additional musicians joining us on the Bima, and we hope to sing all together. We're turning to page 128 and welcoming Cantor Jenna Purcell, almost Cantor Gabe Snyder, and almost Cantor Justin Callis, all together to lead us in this Hine Matov, page 128, if you're looking for those words that talk about how great it is to be here together. And Rabbi Weiss.
Open your heart.
And with the welcoming as well, it is a great joy, and I know for Rabbi Weiss this is the case, for our entire Temple Isaiah community, to welcome Rabbi Weiss's parents, brother and sister-in-law, Laura and Barry, Adam and Rachel, to all come and to lead us in the lighting of Shabbat candles, to bring this warmth and this glow into this Shabbat. Page 120, we're going to invite them to come up and to lead us in the blessing and lighting our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Go old school. Close. We do have insurance, don't worry. If we don't, do you know any good lawyers? Continuing the theme, we can all join in song together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you for sharing Amanda with us.
In his published Musar journal, Everyday Holy Day, Alan Marinis introduces the quality of joy as follows. Moments come when the heart dances in the light. So much more than the experience of fun or even happiness, joy erupts when the inner sphere scintillates in its completeness. An experience touches us to the depths of our souls, and in that moment, we are graced with a vision, if only fleetingly, of the flawless wholeness and perfection of it. Then the heart fills and flows over, even amid the brokenness of the world. Tonight, my heart is full and flowing, and the vision of a joyful Shabbat is becoming a reality. We rise to meet that reality as we continue with L'cha Dodi on page 138.
If it's a less familiar melody, you'll get it as we go along, but you will certainly get the melody as we are there. L'cha Dodi, l'cha kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. L'cha Dodi, l'cha kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela.
Shamoy v'zachor b'diburecha, Yishmi'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Hashemu tiferet v'lithilah.
L'cha
לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשתבח נקרבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשתבח נקרבה.
Turn to the answers. Reading Shabbat.
בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה.
בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשתבח נקרבה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ונשתבח נקרבה. Please be seated. We're going to continue on page 140. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You've gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Together, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They're full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. Page 142 will continue. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon. Nidem Malachei Hamlachim, on page 144.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
מעמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי.
בחייכם יומכם ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בנה ובזמן קריב.
ויאמרו
אמן. ישמר רבה מברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשו בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה נמירן בעלמה.
ויאמרו אמן.
Page 146, we rise, we turn our hearts towards the east.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach Le'olam Amen. Please be seated as we'll continue on page 148 together in the Hebrew of Ma'ariv Aravim, giving thanks for the cycles and the seasons and days and weeks and months and years. Page 148. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher B'Devarom Ma'ariv Aravim B'Chochma Poteach Sh'arim U'Bitbuna Meshane Itim U'Machalif Et Hazmanim U'Misader Et HaKochavim B'Mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtzono Borei Yom Balayla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or U'Ma'avir Yom U'Mevi Laila U'Ma'avdil Ben Yom U'Bein Laila Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Continue on page 150, Ahavat Olam and Eternal Love. I'll be back. You all start singing.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת
Hakein Adonai Eloheinu B'shokbeinu Uv'kumaynu Nasi
אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני.
אוהב עמו ישראל.
I love praising. Our hearts have loved, oh love.
We rise in body or in spirit, proclaiming the words of Shema Yisrael, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad,
Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated as we'll continue in love. V'ahavta, page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, לשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אלוהיכם באמת.
In the middle of page 157, we'll read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we would proclaim restless voices.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Join with Shir Isaiah, page 158, Mi Chamocha.
Be
the bottom of page 161, we read together, "Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim." We continue with the Shamru on page 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat, לעשות את השבת לתורתם בריתותם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתותם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתותם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתותם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתותם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתותם.
We have all kinds of guests this Shabbat, and it is a great pleasure right now to invite Rabbi Dr. Nancy Weiner to come and to share a few words specifically about Amanda. But I want to say that Rabbi Weiner is the founder of and the founding director of the Jacob and Hilda Blaustein Center for Pastoral Counseling at HUC in New York. That's a very long title. She's also a lot of other things, including a very important and cherished mentor in my own life. For 4 years while I was at the New York campus of HUC, she was both my academic advisor and my fieldwork supervisor. She is somebody who brings incredible, incredible thoughtfulness and integrity to everything that she does, whether it is her long, long tenure at the College Institute and guiding of countless students. When Rabbi Weiss first came to interview with us and we started talking a little bit about her experience at the New York campus, and she mentioned the important role that Nancy played in her life, it was very evident to me that I knew the forces that shaped her into the rabbi that she had become. So, Rabbi Weiner, if you would come and share a few words.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Come center.
Come Come center, they say.
Come center.
Okay. Amanda. Hi. You have been blessed with many, many gifts. A questing mind, a joy for life, a sense of fun, a love of and appreciation for music, and an extraordinary organizational set of skills. Everyone who comes into contact with you can see, experience, and appreciate them. We all are enriched by your ready quip, your curiosity and endless questions, your ready laugh and your impish grin, your exuberant participation, I would say in song, but it's virtually in everything, and your incisive analysis of what might be impeding optimal functioning, and your constructive suggestions for improvement. Not to mention your uncanny ability to, despite what's going on in your personal life, or the life of your community, or the life of the world, stay on top of the tasks you've taken on and the commitments that you've made. However, the gift that Amanda possesses most, that is often not as immediately apparent in the public sphere, is the one that was so deeply appreciated by her co-workers and her congregants at her student pulpits, as well as by the many people whose lives she touched while she worked in hospitals. This gift that she cultivates and possesses is what's known in Hebrew as a lev shomea, a hearing heart. Amanda knows deep in her soul that listening, true listening, occurs on multiple planes. We can listen with our ears, paying attention to the words. And yes, words do matter, and they reveal a lot about the person who uses them. We can listen to the tone, the cadence, the pace with which the words are spoken. This is a deeper type of listening. It's listening for the music behind the words, which allows us to become attuned to the heart of the matter and to the heart of the person. But listening to what isn't said, listening to body language, to a pregnant pause, to silences, is to listen in a way that Abraham Joshua Heschel identified with the prophets. It's hearing the still small voice that has yet to find words. As a 19th century rabbi known as the Sfat Emet taught, speech is what humans choose to state with their voice. But the voice is actually something that exists as part of the internal life of each and every one of us. And sometimes words fail that voice. It's precisely at those times when words fail you that you will find that Amanda is still listening, and that her heart is listening to your heart in profound and meaningful ways. A lev shomea, a listening heart, is the antithesis of what Moses and Aaron find when they beseech Pharaoh to let their people go. Pharaoh's lack of response is captured in an expression that also focuses on the heart. Vayikashe lev paro, literally, Pharaoh's heart hardened. A few verses later, in case the meaning was lost on a reader, we read, Velo shama elehem. He doesn't listen to them. The rabbis read a double meaning into this. Pharaoh doesn't listen to Moses and Aaron's words, and he doesn't listen or pay heed to the plagues that are happening all around him. Pharaoh ignores both the auditory and the visual messages before him. It's easy to look at Pharaoh and not see ourselves in him. We don't harden our hearts. However, the challenge of living in community, the challenge of leading a community, comes when we ignore the signs in ourselves which indicate that we have hardened our hearts or we have let our hearts harden. As Martin Buber, the 20th century philosopher, who Amanda studied with me as she prepared for her thesis, taught, part of being human is to move between being fully present to another and being only partially present. To own this truth means to work at cultivating a heart that doesn't harden, a heart that is open to hearing what is easy to hear, what's uplifting and affirming, and also open to hearing what's hard to hear, what's challenging, even what at times is heart-shattering. When we're confronted with what's hard to hear, the description of Pharaoh a few verses later captures a response probably familiar with many of us in the room. Vayifen paro v'yavo el beito v'lo shat libo. And Pharaoh turned away, went to his home, and he didn't let his heart warm. When we hear something we'd rather not hear, we may have a tendency to turn away, to focus on something pleasant and comforting like home. But unlike Pharaoh, we can notice when we gravitate in that direction, and we can actively do what we can to let what we're hearing stir our hearts, to be responsive in an honest and caring way. As Amanda explained in her thesis, our dialogical partners demand a response, and we must turn toward them to answer, responding to the moment and to the person with whom we wish to build relationship. Confrontation can occur when others are at odds in their points of view, but confrontation is most meaningful when both participants are truly able to hear and understand each other, regardless of whether or not they agree. You all have a remarkable opportunity to learn from Amanda's Lev Shomea about yourselves and about how you can listen to each other with open and hearing hearts. You also have the opportunity to follow Amanda's lead in how to be there for each other. Spiritual care is known in modern Hebrew as livui ruchani, spiritual accompaniment. By remaining attentive to others when it's pain or heartbreak, anger or frustration that's being expressed, you can find that you all have the capacity to accompany each other in spiritually powerful and meaningful ways. In this moment in time of unprecedented heartbreak and confusion, of deep divisions and insecurity, at this moment when we need each other more than ever before, I can't imagine a community with a new rabbi who can be there accompanying them as Amanda will be here accompanying you. I pray that you as a community, and you, Amanda, as one of this community's leaders, all grow in your capacity to accompany each other, to open your hearts and grow your Lev Shomea, as together you encourage and support each other to be your best selves and to be the holy community that you can all be. Shabbat Shalom.
Page 164, we're going to rise and turn our hearts once again towards the east as we prepare for Amidah, page 164. Na 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, Elohim, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסרות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור ללמד, מחיי הכל אתה רב הושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחפיר חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחבים רבים, סומך נובים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומיתה מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ולהם נתן החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלם. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We're going to continue on page 173, led there by Beth Milstein, who amazingly brought her skills and her heart to chair our Assistant Rabbi Search Committee, a wonderful committee, but really benefited by Beth's amazing leadership and love of rabbis.
That is true. I have many in my family. You said 173, right? In the blue numbers. Yep. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
On top of page 175, we're going to read there together in the English, page 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod.
We've come to my favorite part of Shabbat services. So anyone who has spent Shabbat with me at Temple Isaiah knows that this is my absolute happy moment, my joy moment, our Modim moments, which is to say that every single week we are running around all over the place thinking about the next thing we have to do without sometimes stopping to pause and celebrate the wins that we've already experienced. And so each week on Shabbat, we get to celebrate each other and our own wins and everyone's wins by saying together, Modim anachnu lach. Yes, see, the people who have heard me know they're ready for the enthusiastic, so let's try that together. Modim anachnu lach, gorgeous. Which literally means we thank you. And so, with the understanding that I have a limited time for Modim moments, does anyone have a win to share? Bless you. Does anyone have a celebratory win to share? Yes, Petrov Kesslers. So many snow days. For excited snow days, and also for sledding, and also for all the fun that comes with wintertime, we say, Modim anachnu lach. Yes, Jacob Williams. For managing to find a way to get our tasks done even in short time periods, we say, Modim anachnu lach. I'm just going to say, for Lainey Pearson Moore, we say, Modim anachnu lach. Yes, Renee. She said a nice thing. So what she said, for the opportunity for all of us to be together tonight here to celebrate, we say, Modim anachnu lach. For very friendly sibling rivalries, of which tonight I have none, we say, Modim anachnu lach. My brother would have absolutely beaten me in a snowball fight. Phil? I love 3-year-olds. For our favorite 3+-year-olds, we say, Modim anachnu lach. I heard Amanda. Oh, it was you that said Amanda. Yes. Do you go here? Oh, where shall we? Can I say it? Okay. For Amanda Catherine or Rabbi Weiss. This is weird. I guess we say Modim. I'm going to end it there.
I never get to do Modim.
Do you go here?
For Temple Isaiah's first ever full assistant rabbi and my first ever full assistant rabbi for Rabbi Amanda Catherine Weiss.
Modim anachnu lach.
Page 178. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
I have always loved the snow. The quiet and peaceful blanketing that mutes the noise of the world and provides a quiet and picturesque landscape to look out at. This morning, for me and for many of us here, was not a quiet morning. Anxiety about my beloved snow was mounting. And yet, the messages I received, are you okay? Morning, sunshine. I'm around if you just need to chat or vent to get your mind off of everything. I'm thinking you're worrying about the weather and your installation. Everything will be more than fine. It's going to be wonderful. And one of my favorites, it will be happening and it will be beautiful, came flooding in through the morning hours. As we prepare for a silent, private, prayerful moment, I invite you to ask yourselves, what messages do you need to hear most right now? What message do you want to share right now? What prayer sends your most personal message out right now? May the peace that comes with personal prayer blanket you with a quiet and picturesque internal moment.
my rock and my redeemer.
This beautiful moment to that which may weigh heavy on our hearts. We take into our hearts all of those, our loved ones who are in pain, all of those who are in need of healing. Our Misha Berach list is very long, and so I'm going to share it tomorrow morning during our service, but not tonight. But I invite people to take a moment to focus inwardly on those that are on their hearts, for Misha Berach prayer, for healing and hope and strength. And that we take into our hearts as well all of those in all places suffering the effects of natural disasters, of terror, of war, all of those in need of healing and hope and strength. Joining our voices together on page 371, praying Misha Berach together. Take a moment in this sacred gathering and most certainly recognizing that we gather in one of the most consumed and painful times for the Jewish people the world over, and very specifically for our loved ones in Israel. Recognizing as well that just yesterday, those whose hearts are torn in this way marked what has been dubbed the saddest birthday ever, as Kfir Bibas's first birthday was marked, and we pray that he reached his first birthday and will reach his second in liberation and in freedom and in health. Kfir's picture has sat on the bima with us from the immediate aftermath of October 7th, and his picture will remain until they are all home. And so we say a prayer on behalf of those held in captivity, on behalf of our beloved state of Israel, and on behalf of the IDF, those who are risking life in order to protect life. So So we say, Mishaberach Abotenu Abraham Yitzchak V'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yivarech et Chayalei Tzava HaHagana L'Yisrael Ha'omdim Al Mishmar Artseinu V'Arei Eloheinu Migvul HaLevanon V'Ad Midbar Mitzrayim U'min Hayam HaGadol Ad Levo HaArava U'B'chol Makom Shehem B'Yabasha Ba'avir U'Bayam Te'azrem Chayil L'Hashiv Et HaNe'edarim V'Et HaShivuyim Ba'avor Shehakahal Hazeh Mitpalel Ba'avuram HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem V'yotzi'im Mechoshech V'tzal Mavet U'mosrotehem Yinatek U'mitzukotehem Yoshi'im V'yeshivem Mehera L'chek Mishpachotehem V'kayem Bahem Mikra Shekatu U'fiduye Hashem Yishuvun Uvau Tzion Berina V'simchat Olam Al Rosham Sason V'simcha Yasigu V'nasu Yagon V'anacha V'ne'emar Tzion B'mishpat Tifdeh V'shevya B'tzedakah V'nomar Amen. The one who blessed Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the soldiers of Israel's defense forces who stand guard over our land and the cities of our God, from the Lebanese border to the Egyptian desert, from the Mediterranean Sea to the approach of the Arava, and wherever else they are, on land, in air, and at sea. Help the soldiers return those who are missing and in captivity, as this congregation prays for them. May the Holy Blessed One have compassion on them and bring them out from the darkness and the shadow of death. May God break their bonds, deliver them from their distress, and bring them swiftly back to their family's embrace. May this verse be fulfilled in them. Those redeemed by God will return. They will enter Zion with singing, and everlasting joy will crown their heads. Gladness and joy will overtake them, and sorrow and sighing will flee away. And as it is written, Zion will be redeemed through justice, and those among her who return through righteousness. And let us all say together, Amen. Amen. We have an additional guest to offer specific words about Rabbi Weiss, and I will say that when we were interviewing Rabbi Weiss and ultimately wanting to confirm that our intuition was right, I had the great pleasure of speaking for the very first time with Rabbi Howie Goldsmith, and basically he said, you should be so lucky to get her. And he said a whole lot of other nice things, and all of them have proven to be true. He was her mentor as she spent her field work at Congregation Emmanuel of Westchester. He serves as president of the Westchester Board of Rabbis, and he is truly an important mentor to Rabbi Weiss, and so is going to share words that will move us into the formal installation section of our service, which will bring us towards the conclusion of our service.
For cities and states across the country, tourism ads play a very important role. Up north, we have the famous I Love New York logo. Apparently, this past summer, Washington, D.C. announced a new motto, there's only one D.C. And of course, Las Vegas infamously says, what happens in Vegas? They put these ads everywhere. Billboards, airline magazines, social media, even traditional newspapers. Tourism bureaus really try to get everyone excited about their cities. But recently, Lexington, Kentucky took their tourism promotion to a whole new level. According to reports, the city used a laser to beam its message to a solar system 40 light years away. It features beautiful Kentucky scenery and includes the molecular structure of the most popular Kentucky export, bourbon. For those of you doing the math, it will take about 40 years for the message to reach the intended solar system. So for now, the tourism officials in Lexington are just biding their time, waiting for a response. Travel, whether domestic or intergalactic, brings us new experiences, new perspectives, new relationships, and broadens our horizons. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Bo, the Israelites begin to travel on an epic journey of their own, a journey that will finally take them out of the land of Egypt and out of slavery. The telling of this Exodus story has shaped the Western world, inspiring movements of freedom through the ages and inspiring individuals to move beyond the narrow places within, to see how they can become more fully themselves. The story of the Israelite journey, with all its blessings and challenges, motivates this change, this striving for something more, this commitment to the values that define us. Well, Temple Isaiah began a journey of your own over the summer when Rabbi Weiss came to town. Instead of the exclusive rabbinic leadership of Rabbi Axler, Rabbi Weiss would now add her Torah, her vision, her enthusiasm, her care to this dynamic congregation. Let's together imagine where the congregation will go with Rabbi Weiss's added leadership. Let's picture what will be in the years to come. Let's conceive of the care you will share. Let's get excited for the journey that you're already on, a journey that requires no intergalactic lasers. Perhaps no lasers, but the journey will require Torah. So you are in luck, because Rabbi Weiss brings beautiful Torah. Her knowledge of our tradition has the depth of someone with long experience in the Jewish professional world and a deep commitment to learning. She brings that Torah to us in meaningful and creative ways, honed on her fabulous podcast, Drinking and Droshing, with Gabe. Rabbi Weiss knows how to plumb the depths of our tradition, not only for the plain meaning, but for the deeper meanings that connect to our individual lives. As the title of her podcast demonstrates, she also knows how to make it fun. As I'm sure that you have, I have witnessed her joyfully teaching children and adults, singing with toddlers, engaging teens. Rather than her own agenda, Rabbi Weiss starts with the learner and builds from there, making our tradition come alive. The rabbis taught that there are 70 faces of Torah, 70 ways to understand any bit of text, and Rabbi Weiss will always reveal the faces that draw Temple Isaiah closer to Torah. Belonging. Rabbi Weiss's vision for the rabbinate centers on fostering a feeling of belonging. Equally for the congregation's balabatim, its important leaders, and for the person sitting quietly at the edge of the oneg, she engages, reaches out, and connects. She knows the value of belonging from her own life experience, from feeling that true connection to her home congregation in the New York suburbs after her parents left Brooklyn behind. It flowed from junior congregation and Purim plays and youth group. Once she started working at Hillel, she dedicated herself to connecting the unconnected and the underconnected. Her success came partly from creative programming and Shabbat dinners and the like, but the success sprang mostly from honoring the questions that others asked, by allowing them to raise up their needs and concerns and responding with a Judaism of relevance and content and depth. And now she brings that vision of belonging here to Temple Isaiah and to each one of you. Enthusiasm, exuberance, eagerness, excitement, passion. Rabbi Weiss brings these in spades. Going on a journey inevitably means encountering roadblocks that require some enthusiasm. When traveling, these take the form of blown tires, canceled flight, mixed up reservations, bad weather, and of course, poorly aimed lasers. When going on a congregational journey, roadblocks present as resource limitations, board dynamics, divergent politics, and the very real limitations on people's discretionary time. Overcoming these roadblocks requires real can-do enthusiasm. When we care deeply enough about something, we find ways around obstacles and create new pathways forward. And I know few people as eager and passionate as Rabbi Weiss. Frankly, it took me some time to take that enthusiasm at face value, but once I did, I allowed that spirit to rub off on me, to find joy and excitement in every area of synagogue life. In a world that rewards cynicism and eye rolls, Rabbi Weiss shares her genuine enthusiasm in ways that can help heal our souls, in ways that will lift Temple Isaiah even higher. You know, as I'm listing all of Rabbi Weiss's many fine qualities, it's also important to say that she cannot do this alone. Indeed, the entire incredible staff and clergy of the congregation cannot do any of this without you. For Rabbi Weiss to bring the fullness of her blessings to Isaiah will require something of you too. Those of you who are here today and those of you who could not make it tonight, and those of you in the community yet to join, all of you are critical to her success, and by extension, Isaiah's success. And what does that look like? Well, first, to paraphrase Woody Allen, 90% of it is showing up. Come to services, come to her classes, come to her programs. When she invites you for a cup of coffee, go. Next, stay true to this congregation. When your kids are done with religious school, stay here and stay involved with the amazing congregation that nurtures your children. Then raise your hand. Join a committee, help plan an event, meet with Rabbi Weiss and say, Rabbi, how can I help? And of course, keep in mind the rabbinic teaching, in Kemach ein Torah, without flour there is no Torah. So in other words, though it may be uncouth to say from the Bima, continue to support Isaiah with your resources so that it continue to provide the very best. The peak spiritual and communal moment of a rabbinic installation relies on congregants doing all of these things all of the time. They are the nourishment that will help Rabbi Weiss in her leadership. They are the foundation of Isaiah's future. In her first few weeks as an intern at my congregation, Rabbi Weiss and I began an ongoing discussion about authority, the source of rabbinic authority. In other words, why should people listen to us? Certainly, rabbis need to know Torah and earn ordination from an accredited institution to gain the basis of authority. But in the congregational world, rabbis need more than that. Rabbis need abiding relationships with congregants. Rabbis need to demonstrate care for the Jewish people. Rabbis need relationships in the wider community, interfaith groups and civic groups and the like. And most of all, a rabbi's authority derives from her authenticity. An early mentor of mine taught me that rabbi is the only profession that pays you to be, well, you. People can smell a fake a mile away. Pretentiousness repels, putting on airs takes air out of the room. We can only form the relationships that underlie our authority when we are authentically ourselves. To some extent, that's probably true for all professions, but it's doubly true for rabbis. Rabbi Amanda Weiss is as authentic as they come. Her love of Torah is authentic. Her desire to know you is authentic. Her passion for justice is authentic. Her Yiddishkeit, her passionate prayer, her deep teaching, her heart-directed leadership, authentic. And I know that from her authenticity, Temple Isaiah will move into a future of untold possibility, learning, spirituality, care, peace, and love. So now I want to ask something of all of you gathered here tonight. No, I don't want you to write a new motto of tourism for Fulton. And no, I don't want you to promote the synagogue and laser beam messages to the stars. Instead, I invite you to offer Rabbi Weiss a blessing of installation, a blessing that demonstrates your confidence in her while echoing words of Torah. Rabbi Weiss, please join me. Now, everyone else, please rise. Please raise your hands in a symbol of blessing. And repeat after me while looking at Rabbi Weiss. Be strong and resolute. For it is you who shall go with us. And indeed, Adonai, who will walk with you. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's presence be with you and grant you peace. Kenyehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. I'm so proud of you. Mazel tov. There you go.
Yeah, don't go away.
Okay.
Except
Yes.
you. Not you.
Huh?
Not yet.
No, okay.
This is the response. When Rabbi Axler told me I'd be responding to Rabbi Goldsmith's charge, I laughed. How would it be possible to respond to something that I hadn't heard? Well, with some quick thinking, a bit of Talmud, and a lot of gratitude. A famous Talmud quote comes from Rabbi Hanina, who said, "I have learned from my teachers." And even more from my friends. Hi. But from my students, I have learned more than from all of them. I see you all back there. Hi. I'm happy to say that all three of these categories are here tonight, but their delineations don't distinguish themselves so easily. My teachers have become my colleagues. My friends have become my mentors. My students are consistently my teachers. And I seem to just enjoy basking in the learning of it all. Moving from idea to implementation, from reflection and reiteration to transformation and trusting the process. Now here's why you're still standing here. At my last service at Congregation Emmanuel, Rabbi Howard Goldsmith, that's him, said to our congregation, "In case you missed it, Amanda's a rabbi now." And Rabbi Goldsmith's first charge to me, which I have carried with me in my daily planner ever since you gave it to me. He told me, you told me, that my rabbinate, that I, as a rabbi, would embody a tradition of light and blessing. Through humor, song, a listening ear, and kindness, you assured me that I too could be a great leader of a great people. Well, look around. I couldn't think of a kinder, stronger, and more welcoming community to lead. You are, in fact, a great people, and I aim to genuinely grow into the great leader that you all deserve. Rabbi Axler, yeah, you didn't get out of this one either, told me that it was most important that I not forget to thank my family.
Smart man.
Impossible. I'm so grateful to my family who has supported my journey, showing up to online and in-person services, graduation ceremonies, ordination ceremonies, and of course, providing me with opportunities to add much-needed pictures to my professional website with at-home baby namings. Thanks. Gabe, I need an addition. Significantly, I want to thank two other families. My chosen family, the friends and mentors and adoptive families who have helped me get to where I am today, and who in times of trouble and triumph are always just a phone call away. And my congregational Temple Isaiah family, who have welcomed me openly ever since I stepped foot on the grounds just a little over a year ago. If I'm to be a rabbi embodying a tradition of light and blessing, know that it's because I'm able to reflect, refract, and magnify the abundant prism and plethora of blessings that surround and support me.
Don't go nowhere. I can go? Sit.
He's like, when will they let me sit down?
And then there's the response to the response, which is an important one.
I know, I mistitled mine to say that, but it was wrong.
Yours was the response. Mine is the response to the response. But I'm going to actually take a prerogative that I almost never get, which is to stand on this side of the bima and to do what our board members typically do, which is to hand you your very own
Bat mitzvah
Temple
bag.
Isaiah Bat Mitzvah bag. Now, inside of this bag is usually a Kiddush cup and a bunch of certificates. But instead, I want to show you what's inside of your Bat Mitzvah bag. And the story goes like this. When Rabbi Weiss moved into her beautiful home, she said, you know, I would like to have my very own sukkah. And I said, you know, I have a great plan for a sukkah. It's my Home Depot sukkah, and you can do it. It's true. Home Depot, you can do it. And so Rabbi Weiss, with lots of help of neighbors, got all the materials, all of the things on the list, except something that was not on the list, which was a drill.
It wasn't on the list.
And she told me that it wasn't on the list, and that's why she didn't have it. Well, now you have your very own drill.
1 second.
But not only this drill comes actually with some instructions. It goes like this: Rabbinic lessons from a power drill for Rabbi Amanda Weiss's installation. This drill comes with a lot of different bits, attachments, and various kinds of heads. Use the right tool for the right job. It will go better that way. Sometimes humor, and you've got plenty of that. Other times, serious and sober is the way to go. You will discover your particular bits and attachments over time. You've got a bunch of bits already, you know. Of the over 100 bits and attachments that come with this pack, I have preloaded the specific drill bit that corresponds to the deck screws that are used for your sukkah. And as you have seen, these screws have, come close.
Jewish stars.
Come close.
No.
They have, come close. They have
Jewish stars.
Jewish stars, that's right. They have Jewish stars on them. May you find Jewish inspiration in the most unlikely of places. Watch. This drill is cordless. It can go with you wherever you take it. Similarly, you are a rabbi in all that you do, whether walking to Kia, tying your shoelaces, or teaching a class. It's all Torah in potential. That said, it also comes with a carrying case. And you have the ability to put your tools away and simply be Amanda when you choose. As you are learning to use this drill, you may find that you do something that is a mistake. That is why the drill comes with this little button. Look.
I'm looking.
This little button that reverses course. It's rarely ever too late to reverse course, to recognize that you have made a mistake and turn back. And it's always okay to ask for help and guidance. And in the worst case scenarios, I've found that when the mistakes are bad, a little bit of spackle and a large dose of humility does a lot to patch things up. But it takes work. Just a couple more.
Just keep an eye out.
On Amazon, this particular model has an overall rating of 4.7 on a scale of 5 out of 3,905 global ratings. 93% of people rated it 4 or 5 stars. The 3% that rated it 1 or 2 stars are not really worth spending your time reading. They're likely fake or just ordinary naysayers. That said, there's something of value in the 4% who gave it 3 stars and had something critical to say. You will have so many people say so many nice things to you, especially this Shabbat. Enjoy that. Over the course of your career, a few will say hurtful things that really have little basis in reality or usefulness in your growth. But the few who will give you helpful criticism, even when it's hard to hear, these are worth paying attention to. This drill is incredibly powerful with a 20-volt battery that at full charge can turned 1,700 revolutions per minute with hundreds of pounds of torque. You are incredibly powerful. And the impact of your words and actions will be felt throughout this congregation and beyond, as you've already demonstrated over the past 6 months. That said, the battery life is about 1.5 hours. There will come a time when it needs to be recharged. It is best to recognize this before the capacity has dropped to 0. You will need to be recharged throughout your career on a daily basis. May you discover and embrace the things that bring your battery to full. As versatile as this drill is, it is also not capable of doing every job under the sun. There are some tasks for which you will need to call in a friend with different tools and experience. Fortunately for you, you know a lot of people with a lot of tools who all love you very much. And fortunately for you, you're not afraid to ask for help. With this drill, though, you will now be able next fall to set up your own sukkah all by yourself.
One second. No.
And you may think this means that I will not show up next year to help you. But you're wrong. Because among the things that I know and have discovered over the last 6 months, it is that if one drill is good, 2 are better. And when used together, make the result much stronger, holier, and even more beautiful. I am proud to labor alongside you in this ongoing project of the rabbinic leadership of Temple Isaiah. And here's your drill. And it is a pleasure to call at this time on Alex Hoffman for yet more responses to the response and presentation.
Wow. How much is left in my term? I still have to follow. Wow. Okay, I'm going to try. 4 rabbis were constantly disagreeing on an important point in the Torah, and it was always 3 against 1. Finally, the odd rabbi out appealed to God. God, he said, I know I am right. Please send a sign. Suddenly, from a clear sky, it began snowing. See, said the rabbi to his colleagues, I must be right. Big deal, they said. A little snow in January is unusual. Suddenly, a big icicle came down and knocked over a large tree. The first rabbi said, now that is surely a sign. No, said his colleagues, it's just a sign from nature, not from God. Just as he was about to ask for another sign, a large voice rumbled from the heavens. He's right. So, said the rabbi, turning with a smile to his colleagues, now what do you have to say? Big deal, they said. So now it's 3-2. That was number 738 from the I think so. In the weeks leading up to the start of my term as president, I knew that beginning the process of searching for Temple Isaiah's first full-time assistant rabbi would be at the top of my agenda. As our committee began work in July 2022, putting together our application and formulating the search process, there was a lot of excitement and optimism. After all, both the strengths of our congregation and its location in a diverse, thriving region between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and Beth can remind me, but I think we told our applicants that was south of the snow belt. We figured that should certainly be attractive to any potential assistant rabbi. Yet there was also a little bit of trepidation. In a competitive field of candidates, how did we know that our candidate, one that can serve as a true partner to Rabbi Axler and our incredible team, as well as add their own strengths to our community, was out there? One of our stated goals was to find an individual with emotional intelligence who could connect with compassion, humor, and warmth with a wide variety of congregants. In addition, we wanted an innovative candidate who could help inspire our diverse congregants to connect in new ways with their Jewish identity. As the process unfolded and we interviewed a large number of applicants, it quickly became apparent that Rabbi Weiss fit all of those goals. It was, as she reminded me, and you all just now, that it was only a couple of days ago, 1 year ago this week, and in considerably better weather, that she first visited Temple Isaiah. And just as she had impressed the committee during her initial interview, getting the opportunity to engage with her in person was enough to convince us that we had indeed found a perfect match. More than just checking the boxes, all of us felt her capability as a funny, kind, thoughtful, engaging, and mature presence that could truly add to our community. And so we felt extremely fortunate not only to have found such an extraordinary person, but to have the opportunity to watch over these first few months of her tenure as she has already become an indelible part of our Temple Isaiah family. In early September, Rabbi Weiss and I attended a weekly bagel brunch with a group of men's club members. Now this, as we all know, is one of the true tests of any new rabbi. And not surprisingly, Rabbi Weiss passed it with flying colors. Of course, as she would tell you, having been a regular member of congregational men's clubs from a very young age, this was very natural to her. But there were a couple of moments that spoke to me in particular about the caring and compassionate person that Amanda is, and how I knew we had made the right choice. First, one of the men's club members was unavailable due to a minor illness. Now, she had never met this congregant before, but I found out later that she took the time to call him and wish him refuah shlema. Now, this is certainly a common expectation of rabbinic duties, but I think it's really in keeping with Rabbi Weiss's compassionate nature and desire to connect with everyone, even those that she had never met before. Another moment occurred as we were leaving the bagel bin. As Rabbi Weiss and I were talking, we heard a sudden noise, and we turned to see that a young man in a heavy motorized wheelchair had broken a wheel on the curb. We both went over to assist, but it soon became apparent to both of us, we didn't have a drill with us, there was no quick fix available. As Rabbi Weiss looked at the broken wheel on the ground in front of us, she turned to the man and she asked him, "What can we do in this moment to be of help to you? What can we do in this moment to be of help to you?" In that one instant, Rabbi Weiss saw a person in need and immediately realized that the most important thing to do was to be fully present and offer whatever guidance or support was needed. Now, it's certainly true it doesn't take rabbinic training to help an individual in need. But I have no doubt that Rabbi Weiss's character, her core Jewish values, were encapsulated in that brief encounter. So as we called for help from the Howard County Police and waited there until the issue was resolved, I knew that Temple Isaiah had indeed found an incredibly kind and thoughtful person and a true sacred partner to bring our already blessed community to another level. In watching Rabbi Weiss over the last few months, like all of you, I've been impressed with how she's connected with so many diverse groups. Whether at a dinner with our teens, an ice cream get-together with the 30-somethings, men's club or a sisterhood event, a dinner with our Renaissance group, she has made herself a part of our congregation in a very short time, leading Torah study, playing her drum as she accompanies Rabbi Axler's guitar and Cantor Becca's voice, chanting Torah in her own beautiful voice, leading us in Modim moments and in prayer. These are all ways in which she has helped to elevate our spiritual growth. It's no secret to say that sharing rabbinic duties in a congregation used to hearing one voice takes time to adapt to. And yet, Rabbi Weiss continues to prove that she has a tremendous gift for using her own experience and voice to explore and share the values of Torah. And who else could have convinced Rabbi Axler to change Aleinu after 10 years? As we all know, Rabbi Weiss considers herself to be a lifelong learner as well as a passionate reader. And so, in honor of this occasion, on behalf of the board and the staff of Temple Isaiah, I'm looking for the power tools. We are pleased to present you with a gift that befits those values. And no, it is not text messages for teens. We are pleased to present you very soon as it arrives from weather-delayed shipping, with your own edition of a set of this beautifully written Koran Babylonian Talmud. Yes.
Wow, indeed.
All 42 volumes you will be busy reading. 40. It is our hope that this gift will continue to inspire you to share your passion for Judaism with all of those fortunate enough to call you rabbi and a friend. As we arrive at this moment this weekend, it is truly a moment to cherish. As Rabbi Weiss continues to add her unique voice and spiritual guidance to our community, may we continue to remind ourselves how truly blessed we are. Shabbat Shalom.
This time we're going to invite those who are the members of our Temple Isaiah board who are present, our Temple Isaiah staff who are present, and the members of our Assistant Rabbi Search Committee to all make their way onto the bima. Staff in the center, board and search committee over this way, as in just a moment we're going to invite the congregation once again to please rise as we very symbolically in a loving way will ask that Rabbi Weiss does what she does best, which is hold and transmit Torah for our congregation. So we invite the congregation to please rise. On the inside of your pamphlets that are not the Shabbat announcement pamphlet, you will find an installation litany that has responses for the congregation. Temple Isaiah's president, Alex Hoffman, is going to begin, and then the congregation will respond.
It is taught, at Sinai, Moses received Torah and handed it to Joshua, who gave it to the elders, then the prophets, and ultimately Torah was given to the people of the Great Assembly. This chain of tradition has continued from generation to generation, each community in turn seeking to honor and strengthen these sacred teachings. For more than 50 years, Torah has been transmitted by the rabbis of Temple Isaiah, and today we ask God's blessing on Rabbi Amanda Weiss as she takes on the position of teacher of Torah at Temple Isaiah. Through worship, study, and deeds of love and kindness in all that we do, we seek to honor God and add to the peace of our community. May Rabbi Weiss inspire us to do so through her unique Torah.
Together, let Rabbi Weiss teach us. Let Torah be the soul of all her teaching. Let her teach us mitzvot, sacred deeds, a way of life. Teach us in the classroom where we engage in lifelong learning through sacred text. Teach us at the bedside of the sick, in the distress of the troubled, in the joys and sorrows of our homes. Teach us in the community during times of challenge and rejoicing. Teach us by the way you lead your life as we deepen our own commitments. Our God and God of our ancestors, help Rabbi Weiss to be a constant and trusted partner in leadership and vision, helping our congregation grow in knowledge and commitment as we study our holy texts together. May she be blessed with continued inspiration, righteousness, spirituality, and the ability to communicate joyfully her love of Judaism, the beauty of its customs, rituals, and beliefs. Let her guide this holy congregation in the work of Tikkun Olam, working towards a world of greater justice, wholeness, and peace. Together, keep Rabbi Weiss from despair, frustration, and sacred burnout. Bless her with good health, strength of purpose, and the knowledge that she is truly cherished as our teacher and our leader. May she grow through the years as she begins her rabbinic career, sharing her many gifts with this grateful community. Together, praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, enabled us to reach this sacred and joyous moment. We continue in song.
Our
Of Rabbi Amanda Weiss at Temple Isaiah, we offer a prayer for our congregation and its leaders. God, we give thanks for the leaders and teachers of our congregation, the rabbis and educators, lay leaders and volunteers who have given their time and resources for the sake of your name. On this Shabbat of installation, we are mindful of all people who have dedicated themselves to the Jewish community and to your Torah. Together, their vision has been a blessing to us all.
Help us to see that it is through our understanding, care, and love of one another that we find you. Eternal God, we know that it is not walls and books that define our congregation, but moments shared, truth sought, and relationships forged through common bonds of love, tradition, and learning. May we strengthen one another.
And as we strengthen one another within our own congregation, let us also work up to build up our Jewish community. May we forge links of learning, Torah, and partnership with other congregations and organizations that share our vision of Jewish life. All Israel is responsible for one another.
May we be ever cognizant of our responsibility to work within all areas of our community. Help us, O God, to continue to reach out to every individual and organization that works towards improving our community and our world. May we never forget that all humanity is created in your image. Help us to work together in perfecting the world.
May you be blessed as you go on your way. As Rabbi Weiss takes Torah and places it back in the ark, we sing together that it is indeed a tree of life. It's Hayir Lemachazikima B'Tomefeha Me'ushar Deracheha Darcheinu B'chol Netivoteha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kedem. Continuing on the top of page 586, we remain standing for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gdula le'otzeh breshit, shehu noteh shamayim ve'oseh haaretz, moshav yikaro l'shamayim ima'al, u'shchinatu zo b'govhei meromim, u'eleinu enot, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. Please be seated.
Just two. All right. I am going to give two announcements, and only two. But I do first want to extend a great word of thanks to Marshall and to Shir Isaiah, to all of Amanda's family who are joining us and friends who've gathered here, to our special guests for accompanying us tonight and for being here for this moment. Please join us tomorrow for Shabbat and Shmooze and additional learning and teaching as our weekend continues. I just want to bring two announcements to your attention. One, the adult study retreat, which is coming up February 9th through 11th. There are a few rooms remaining for that, so please be sure to sign up. You can find the details in your What's Happening. Also, I want to remind people about the trip to Toby's, which is now open for all TI members. There are still some seats left for that. That's on February 8th. Again, please register online or contact Ellen Strickhartz if you want more information. Again, thank you to everyone for coming out this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
And I will say just a additional word of thanks to all those who helped put tonight together, which included Sharon Nussbaum as chair, Ellen Strickhartz, Doris Geisler, Beth Milstein, Marion Miller, Alice Snyder, Susie Golko, Carol Winter, Andy Nussbaum, the entire Temple Isaiah staff, quite literally every single person, and especially Amy and Adelio for all of the logistics. We're going to see if indeed our service will perhaps end before 10 o'clock, although I think we may have missed that, which is okay, because quality, indeed. As we prepare for Kaddish Yatom on page 598, we remember those whose yahrzeits fall from within our congregational family. They are so many and they are so precious. By name, we recall Sarah Baum, Ann Burson-Smertz, Barbara Bowitz-Hoffman, Rhea Buxbaum, Stella Canner, Lawrence H. Cope, Barney Doyne, Arnold Drapkin, Raymond Gallant, Rosa Garber, Gertrude Geisler, Benjamin Gradis, Fran Grandier, Samuel Greenfield, Hyman Harris, Zelda Hughes, Susan Hurwitz-Sorkin, Boris Karasik, Goldie Kaufman, Harvey Kelman, Stanley Klein, Betty Klein, Ilana Kuntz, Rose Levine, Michael Levinson, David Levitas, Ken Martin, Diana Michaels, Cal Mishkoff, Herb Mussman, Mooney Oster, Stephen Pine, Howard Pauley, Max Ricklin, Betty Rosenblum, Afik Sagi, Catherine Schwartzberg, Marion Schafrin, Leonard Scheikind, Susan Spinner, and Aaron Strickhartz. We as well remember those laid to rest in recent days, Boris Abraham Zellens and Bob Levine. And within the Shloshim, we recall for blessing Joseph Berman, Jerry Lake, Zelda Silberstein, James Allen Rothschild. If there are those observing yard sites or in the immediacy of mourning who wish to mention additional names at this time, we invite you to do so.
Robert David Sachs, Lauren Zerwitz,
We rise as one community, page 598, taking as well into our hearts the memories of all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. We make them ours. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala v'zman kariv imru, Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the one who makes peace in heaven, may God make peace for us here on earth. For all Israel and all who dwell on earth, but most especially in the hearts of all those everywhere who mourn, we say together, Amen. We're going to remain standing for just another moment, and at this time, invite up some of Rabbi Weiss's very favorite people. Yes, we will definitely invite up all of our recent and upcoming B'nai Mitzvah to make their way up to the Bima, but very specifically, although every student is special to Rabbi Weiss, this special 11th plus grade class, who are the post-confirmation folks who know that they can always help themselves to soda, candy, and basically whatever else they find in Rabbi Weiss's office or in her purse, will come to help lead us in Kiddush and Motzi as we conclude. And I will say, it will have been worth it to stick around because, of course, in Rabbi Weiss's honor, as she developed this reputation this summer as the ice creamer Rebbe, there will indeed be an ice cream sundae oneg. So, hold. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'rantzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'yavahu b'ratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom te'ila la'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher yitziat mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta v'odanu kidasha mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshcha be'ahava u'ratzon hilchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices arise in song together as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. With great thanks to one and all of our service participants. By the way, come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the most musical Shabbat and Shmooze ever. And now I would like all of our friends up here to dance Rabbi Weiss out of this service so she can go get some ice cream. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov. Yehelanu, 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 U'Lato Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, U'Lato Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom to one and all. Thank you to everybody who stuck with us on the Zoom. Thank you. I'm so glad you were able to hear us and see us. Hello, Steffi. Hi, Bruce. Hello, Gilai. Lewins. Hello, Sharon. Carol, hello. Zwigs from Florida. I see you. Hello, Janice. Oh, I see the Jubins indeed. Hello, Rob and Frona.